What's up, 2K crew? We are coming to you on an amazingly beautiful weekend. 2Ks, I know that you got a lot done outside the house. I know everybody did. The whole town of Marcellus was just flooded with fucking lawnmowers and everything motorized going on. 2K crew, it's your boy Turbo. I got 2Ks on the horn. As always, you're seeing this lovely mug for another hour, but don't be too judgmental, because this time next week, we're going to have a whole new studio backdrop. So keep that in mind, because it's going to be kick-ass. Well, 2Ks, are you ready to continue on this deep dive on the NFL draft, my friend?
Yes, sir.
All right. I know you're aching to talk about your Dallas Cowboys pick, but before we jump into this, let's pay, as all the other cool podcasters say, let's pay some bills. If you live in and or around Marcellus, give Drop Anchor Tavern a holler, 269-646-2525 on any of your curbside or takeout delivery or deliveries if you live within 5 miles of town. Give them a holler. Tell them that Turbo and 2K sent you, because small business supports us and we support them. So get out, get a burger, get some chicken. It'll be amazing. Well, 2Ks, we kind of left the audience hanging on pick 17 last week, which is your Dallas Cowboys taking Mr. CeeDee Lamb from Oklahoma. So give us, since this is your team, give everyone your initial thoughts. Like when you heard they went receiver, what was the first thing that went through your mind?
Well, leading up to this entire draft, I've been talking on and on about how, Dallas, they have to go defense. They have to bring in defensive help, because, let's be honest, them not making the playoffs last year really had nothing to do with, their offense letting them down. It was mostly that their defense couldn't stop anybody. They were giving up, 30 points every single week, and, as well as I do, you're not going to win very many games when you're giving up that many points.
Not unless you have the Chiefs offense. But yeah, you're right.
Yes. But Kansas City's defense, they got a lot better, and that's the reason why why they won a Super Bowl last year, because their defense was much better than what it had been in years past. Absolutely. But getting back to the Cowboys pick, they went receiver. We all knew that the receiving class in this draft was probably one of the best years that we've seen ever, as far as the draft class for wide receivers. And I had CeeDee Lamb I was in between on him being the number one overall receiver in this class, or I probably would have had him at number 2. I think I had Jerry Jeudy number 1.
And me too.
But to me, with the 17th pick, being able to land, one of the most talented players in the draft in CeeDee Lamb, I just think it was too good to pass up. I think that they wanted to, approach the defense. Obviously, the rest of the draft, that's what they did, was approach the defense. But I think, CeeDee Lamb, that name being there on the board with the 17th pick, it was too good to pass up. And I tell you what, their offense potentially could be really, really scary next year, with, especially with the 3 wide receivers that they have now.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm excited about it. There was, some of the bigger names, defensive names, were already off the board that I really wanted them to go after. So when they made the pick on CeeDee Lamb, I got to be honest, I wasn't very upset about it.
I can't imagine you being too bummed about it. I have a feeling Jerry Jones is sitting on his just fabulous, amazingly stupid yacht doing this draft, which I totally feel so bad for him, because he had to do it in his yacht and not not in Las Vegas. I'm sure he had to, he was grieving on the inside. But I just had a feeling it was one of those where it was, instead of taking something to fill a hole, you looked at it and went, well, shit, this is the best available. And they probably, and I myself thought both Lamb and Jerry Jeudy were going to go way higher than this. So to have him fall in your lap, I don't think you can't take him. I really don't. And is it a spot that they absolutely needed help with? Nah, probably not. But when you get a receiver like that could be, a possibly a top 5 receiver in the next 2 years, I could totally see it. It wouldn't surprise me one bit if CeeDee Lamb is a top 5, fantasy receiver, yards, touchdowns, stuff like that. I could definitely see him, evolving into the number 1 on this team. But there,
Mhm.
like you said, there's 2 other guys there in Gallup and Cooper that they could be
Yep.
number 1s anywhere else too. So to have
Yep.
possibly 3 number 1 receivers on your staff is amazing.
Yeah.
And
And the only thing that kind of makes me think a little bit is and don't get me wrong, I love having these 3 names as line up every week at receiver, but now but seeing them get a CeeDee Lamb, and then you see what Gallup did for them last year, and the way he was coming around and kind of showing that he potentially could be a number 1 guy
absolutely.
for a lot of teams here, especially here in the future. Was it worth putting the amount of money that they did put into Amari Cooper? That's my question that I have. Could they have used some of that money to, get the Dak Prescott deal done and over with, so we don't have to talk about that anymore, and also address the defense, because we know that they still need a lot of help there on the defensive side of the ball.
Absolutely. And there's also another question that arises out of here is there's only one football. And like we've pointed out, there's 3 magnificent receivers that Dak can throw to. We can't leave out Zeke. And you and I, at least me, especially going down the season last year, where when they were giving Zeke the ball 25, 30 times, whether that's just straight handoff or a little pass out of the backfield, that team ran a lot differently. And in my opinion, ran better when you run through Zeke. And you've paid him a lot of fucking money. Use him.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yep,
with adding Lamb to this, I mean, it's going to make the offense better, hands down. Don't get me wrong.
Mm-hmm.
But is there going to be any backlash or turmoil from Zeke knowing his past with only having one football? I mean, that's something that none of us are going to know until the season starts. But it's something, at least in my eyes, it's worth keeping an eye on just to kind of take the temperature of the situation every now and again, and because. I'm not saying Zeke's a baby, but he likes his touches, he likes his yards, he likes his touchdowns. Which, if you're one of his fantasy owners, you absolutely want that too. But with this team, especially with all the money they've dumped on the offensive line and everything else, you should be running the ball first to pass. And you have one of the top 1 or 2 running backs in the league. So is this gonna help open up that running game and let Zeke go absolutely crazy? Could possibly be. Or is the spread of the football around, is Zeke not going to get as many touches as he wants, and we'll see what happens there. But with this pick, there also comes another, I guess, in today's lack of sports, it was kind of a big headline, is he's deciding to wear number 88, which, if you're not a Cowboys fan, Michael Irvin and Des Bryant both wore 88, and there was a bunch of, I'm pretty sure it was everyone but Cowboys people were just like, oh my God, he's disrespecting the number and all this and that. And Michael Irvin said, go catch balls, I don't care what number you wear. I didn't see I didn't see what anyone asked Des, but yeah, Michael Irvin's like, I don't care what number he wears. Go catch footballs and win games. That's all I care about.
Yeah.
And
you know what, and that's the way it has to be with Dallas. I'm sick of the, there's always, and it kind of comes with being the Dallas Cowboys and being America's team, but it just seems like there's always the drama around that team, whether they're winning or they're losing. And let's be honest, here, in recent years, they haven't done, they haven't performed the way that, we're used to seeing Dallas perform. So in my opinion, I don't really give a shit what number anybody wears or who gets the fucking ball. We got to start winning more football games and being more being relevant when playoffs come around. And, got to get over that hump of, because right now, to me, especially here in this past decade, the Eagles have been kind of the powerhouse of that division. And I know, powerhouse is really not the word to use, especially after the season that division had last year.
Right.
But the Eagles and the Giants, they've really had the upper hand on Dallas here lately.
And yeah, the teams you just mentioned that are basically, especially like the Redskins and the Giants have kind of been on the back burner of that division. And now you look at it, the Giants got a whole lot better. The Redskins are getting a whole lot better. The Eagles did okay. I mean, we'll get to one of their picks here in the next couple, but and then Dallas, they're redoing this, redoing that, reshuffling this, and quite possibly should have the best offense out of any team in that division. However,
oh, absolutely,
you're exactly right that the pathway through that division has gone through Philadelphia for the most part. So everyone else is getting better. They haven't had the dominance they've had in that division in quite some time. So, and I have a very good feeling that the getting rid of Jason Garrett was probably the best step they could have taken, and they've got a very good coach in place now. How the draft went, obviously when McCarthy was with the Packers, he didn't have that much input, I guess, on their selections. However, Jerry Jones took his advice and input into making his selections, and seems like everything is going very well for Mr. McCarthy in Dallas to start out his career there. So maybe that's the step. The first step in the right direction was addition by subtraction. Excuse me. Words are hard today. And so a whole new outset, a whole new regime, and just kind of refresh everything and see, because like you said, you're not making the playoffs. The only thing that you could be doing is getting a better draft pick, which Jerry Jones will not allow that to happen with as much money as he's puts into the team, the stadium, and everything like that. He wants a winner again, and I'm sure, in my opinion, McCarthy's a way better coach than Jason Garrett was. So Dallas fans are probably breathing a little bit of relief, and I have a feeling that they're going to be the ones taking over this division here in for the next foreseeable future, in my opinion. But we shall see. We shall see what happens on the field, my friend. Was there anything else you want to add to the CeeDee Lamb pick before we move on to the Dolphins?
No, that's all I got.